To most of us who are far away from the 1%, $1 billion can seem like an unfathomable amount of money. But not only do people with that much more money than us exist, sometimes they're better looking also. We'll introduce you to some women who have both beauty and billions. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more from the taco. Let's get started. Holly Branson. If you thought all billionaires did was party, vacation, and dive into swimming pools filled with gold coins, let us introduce you to Holly Branson. She's the daughter of Richard Branson, an English business magnate who founded the Virgin Group. This group controls over 400 companies, and Richard has even been knighted at Buckingham Palace for his services to entrepreneurship. All of this is pretty impressive, but let's get back to his daughter Holly. She completed 5 years of study in order to qualify as a junior doctor, and was on the precipice of entering her second year of hospital training when she decided on a career change. Being a doctor is a noble call for sure, but Holly was feeling burnt out and decided to join her father's company as an intern. This brief hiatus turned into a new career and a new outlook in life. While this billionaire acknowledges that money is incredibly important, she believes that it can be earned while impacting the world around you in positive ways. When she isn't on the clock, she's working for her charity, Big Change, and is a co-chair for We Day UK, which celebrates people making differences in the world. Ana-Lucia de Matos Beretta Vilela. Her name may be a bit long, but so are the numbers in her bank account. This is Ana-Lucia de Matos Beretta Vilela. She's a member of one of Brazil's oldest banking families, and needless to say, she's absolutely rich. In her home country of Brazil, she's the youngest female billionaire. Her great-grandfather founded the bank Itaú, which started off much smaller than it is now. Eventually, it merged with Unibanco in 2008 and formed Itaú Unibanco, the biggest private sector bank in Latin America. If that sounds like a big deal, it is, and it's insanely profitable as well. Ana-Lucia is one of the largest individual shareholders of Itaúsa and has about 12% of common shares. And that's not even taking into account the 3% of preferred shares she has access to. As if that wasn't enough, her grandfather founded Duratex, a company which makes wood paneling and bathroom fixtures. And oh yeah, she's a shareholder there as well. All in all, she's worth over $1.8 billion. When she isn't attending board meetings, she's serving as the president of Alana Institute. This nonprofit organization helps to promote education, social work, and culture. Lee-Seo-hyun. When it comes to those with large amounts of wealth, most of the time they simply inherited it from their families. And it's true, Lee-Seo-hyun is the daughter of Samsung chairman Lee Kun-hee. But this fact doesn't diminish the things that she's accomplished in her own right when it comes to the fortune she has amassed. Her family works hard, with her older brother Lee Jae-young being the Samsung Electronics vice chairman, and her older sister Lee Boo-jin being the CEO of Hotel Shilla. Despite her advantages in life, Lee-Seo-hyun didn't let that stop her from working hard. She expanded her company's business horizons into both fashion and chemicals. Sure, those things don't go together, but that doesn't mean they aren't profitable enterprises. She acquired Italy-based fashion house Colombo Via della Spiga and engineered a merger with Samsung SDI and Samsung Everland. That means her company is now the leading producer of energy storage systems, which is nothing to scoff at. Being a billionaire is rare enough as it is, but being a Korean billionaire is even more so. She's worth around $1.5 billion and has been listed as one of the Forbes' most powerful businesswomen to watch. Aerin Lauder. If you think that you've heard the last name Lauder before, you're probably thinking of the cosmetics company Estee Lauder. The company was founded by Estee and Joseph Lauder, and we're going to be telling you about their granddaughter, Aerin Lauder. But Aerin wasn't just handed a job without having to work for it. She attended and ultimately graduated from the University of Pennsylvania while working for her family's company simultaneously. Then she studied at the Annenberg School for Communication at the University of Pennsylvania. With those impressive credentials, work ethic, and experience, she became the style and image director for the Estee Lauder companies. She owns 16 million shares in the company, which are easily worth $1 billion on their own. But her hustle doesn't stop there. Aerin Lauder has also launched her very own cosmetic, perfume, fashion, and furniture line called Aerin. It took her 25 long years working for her family business before she felt confident enough to embark on her own journey. When it comes to her luxury lifestyle label, she says beauty products may be part of her heritage, but her true passion lies in the home. Aerin describes herself as a visual person and claims to draw inspiration from visiting museums and galleries. Tamara Ecclestone. Tamara Ecclestone is the daughter of Bernie Ecclestone, former chief executive of the Formula One Group. In addition to the large amount of assets her family possesses, she's known for being a noted television personality and socialite. Her mother is model Slavika Ecclestone, and it seems like she's the parent that Tamara takes after. During the 2001 Formula One season, she worked as the presenter of Sky Sports Italia's coverage. She's also known for endorsing other lifestyle and glamour productions. Later, she would go on to star in her own reality TV show, Tamara Ecclestone, Billion Dollar Girl. In 2017, we would get to see her on television once again in Tamara's world. So what is Tamara's world like? As you may have guessed, it's pretty lavish, and almost exactly what you would have expected from a wealthy and beautiful heiress. She and her family live in a mansion in Kensington valued at $120 million on one of the most expensive streets in London. Although her home is made up of 57 rooms, Tamara admits she only really uses the kitchen, the living room, and the bedroom. That leaves 54 totally unutilized rooms. It takes a lot of employees to keep up with her mansion, and she has hired over 50 people as a result. Petra Ecclestone. Tamara Ecclestone isn't an only child, and she has a sister who is just as rich as she is. Meet Petra Ecclestone, the youngest daughter of Bernie and Slavika Ecclestone. At a young age, Petra underwent a traumatic experience which shaped her life forever. When she was only 14 years old, she contracted viral meningitis, an event that she says changed her life forever. Although she managed to survive, it gave Petra a lasting appreciation for her own health, and she vowed to never take it for granted. Instead, she became an ambassador for Meningitis Trust, a UK-based charity that assists those afflicted by meningitis. One of her own passions in life is fashion, and she decided that she wanted to design her own pieces. She focused on creating clothing for men because she decided the market for women's clothing was oversaturated. When she was only 19 years old, she created the menswear label Form, which hit stores in 2008. Just a year later, she signed a contract with Croatian clothing manufacturer Sisia. While her sister may enjoy being in the spotlight, Petra can't stay far enough away from it. She has 3 children with former husband James Stunt and believes that it would be irresponsible to put her private life on display. Dylan Lauren. The story of Dylan Lauren goes to show us that just because your parents are rich doesn't mean you can't follow your own path in life. Dylan Lauren is the daughter of Ricky Ann Lobeer and Ralph Lauren. You might have heard of her father Ralph Lauren before as the clothing magistrate and one of the top 100 richest people in America. Lauren studied art history at Duke University, but would draw her career aspirations from an even more unlikely source. Like many of us who are young at heart, she was enchanted by the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, so she started her own candy store, which she calls Dylan's Candy Bar. According to Lauren, it's the largest unique candy store in the world. She wanted to take her love of colorful confections and merge it with fashion, art, and pop culture. The flagship store in New York is a must-see destination even for celebrities. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Katie Holmes, Janet Jackson, and Madonna are reportedly repeat customers there. The store is a hit and has been featured in many shows taking place in New York City. These include Project Runway, Cake Boss, and Gossip Girl, among many others. It seems that Lauren definitely inherited her father's business sense combined with her own sweet tooth. Amanda Hearst. What's the only thing better than a billionaire with her own massive candy store? What about one who is dedicated to rescuing adorable puppies? This is Amanda Hearst, and she's the heir to the Hearst Corporation. This mass media conglomerate is based in New York City and owns tons of newspapers, magazines, and television channels. Her father, Richard McChesney, separated from her mother before she was born. Her mother, Anne Hearst, is a noted socialite, philanthropist, and publishing heiress. The wealth of her family comes from her great-grandfather, media mogul William Randolph Hearst. For a while, Hearst was an IMG model. She appeared on the covers of top magazines like Cosmopolitan, International Harper's Bazaar, and Town & Country. In addition to being featured in Vanity Fair, she also modeled the new line of ethical fashion designed by Leah Khabib. You can still see her in magazines, but nowadays it's usually as a contributor. She is the associate market editor for Marie Claire and also founded her own nonprofit organization called Friends of Finn. It's dedicated to stopping the inhumane treatment of dogs in puppy mills and encouraging pet adoption. Having $1 billion is great, but it's hard to put a price on getting to save puppies. Marie Besnard-Ovolo. When it comes to billionaires, Marie Besnard-Ovolo is one of the wealthiest on our list, and she did it all by just being born into the right family. Her grandfather is André Besnier, who founded the Besnard Group, which would later be known as Lactalis. Back in 1933, he started a small company focused on making cheese. It was a noble goal, and in 1968, it launched its president brand of Camembert. By 1990, it acquired Groupe Bridel, a company with a presence in 60 countries, and 2 years later, it acquired American cheese company Sorrento. It seemed like there was no stopping this cheese wheel from turning, and they kept merging with more companies and growing bigger and bigger. André Besnier had a son named Michael Besnier who served as CEO of Lactalis for 45 years. His daughter is Marie Besnier Bovolo, and he has 2 sons, Emmanuel Besnier and Jean-Michel Besnier. Together, these 3 siblings own 100% of Lactalis and have since the year 2000. It's estimated that as of 2018, she's estimated about $5.6 billion. That's not too bad for a family fortune built off of delicious cheese. Charlotte Casiraghi. Since her mother is an actual princess, it's not surprising that the beautiful Charlotte Casiraghi isn't hurting for money. She's the second child of Caroline, Princess of Hanover, and Stefano Casiraghi, an Italian industrialist. Although she's in line for the throne of Monaco, she's currently in the 11th spot, so she's unlikely to actually make it to the throne. Most people assume that members of royal families don't do much day to day, but that certainly isn't true for Casiraghi. In 2007, she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy from the University of Paris IV, Paris Sorbonne. While in school, she interned with the publishing house Robert Raffrant in Paris, and then with the Sunday supplement of The Independent. When she wasn't studying, she was spending her time in the stables and being a gifted and quite decorated equestrian. She's even the equestrian ambassador for the Gucci label, which we didn't realize was even a thing. As if all of that wasn't enough, she's also a published writer and magazine editor who has worked for many different publications over the course of her career. Although she lives her life as a private citizen, albeit an extremely wealthy one, she does occasionally get to attend official functions in Monaco. Can you imagine what your life would be as a billionaire? Let us know how you envision your luxury lifestyle in the comments section, and then click subscribe for more from the taco. Bye for now.